Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of Marvel's Guardians of the Universe Starlord, and I'm doing the comic book version, which is actually my favorite version. So what we're going to do a pose as in where he is using his those guns to fight, and we'll be doing some perspective as we go to complete this quick sketch. So if you have pens or pencils all set, we're going to draw ourselves a Starlord, and the comic version that I'm going to be hitting on is one of the more later ones. So we're doing foreshortening right here. Starlord is not too muscular. He's just fit enough. But this is the hand that's going to hold the rifle. So I'm putting 1, 2, 3 circles: shoulder, bicep area, forearm, and the hand itself. So we will first get those shapes in place, and I'm just getting a few quick lines, the sausage bits, let's say, for the fingers in place, and that will be the thumb, and of course the gun will be here, like showing nice and big on that end. The trigger compartment going into the fingers and nice and big on this end as well. Of course you could have your own variations, you could change it, and that is all up to you. And I'm going to do his head right here. So that is his head right there, and the other shoulder will be here, chest area, and we will show the torso like going backward like that, maybe a bit of the leg right there, and we'll see how this works out as we are going along. But that is the primary framework for Starlord, and I'm just for the dynamic thing going, for this particular quick sketch, I'm going to put in the same gun right here in this hand as well, so that he has this backup going, and that'll be the action that we are going to tap into momentarily and put in all those details. I would actually encourage you to go with a sketch in pencil, as that is easier. Again, we have the eyes, we have the mask right there, and you will see that this is going to shape up into a Starlord very soon when you go into the next phase and put in the inks and tones. So moving on, we're going to quickly sketch out this guy's fatigues. So he has what you call a sort of a captain like getup. Not really captain like, but it's like a space faring getup. And as we know, that his comic name of Peter Quill was made very popular by the current Marvel movies series. So as I'm talking about all these well-known facts and being repetitive, I'm pretty sure that you are following as I'm going along each and every line here. Now, this is not necessarily exactly a depiction of how his gun or his laser weapon is, but it's something that you can like really have fun with, and you can make it a generic thing, but as long as it looks something like that, I think that you are off to a good start. So we'll just put in one or two other lines there just to give it the feel of something assembled together. And then of course he has all these gloves. Let's give him like gloved lines right along the fingers there, some stretches there, some stretches in the gloves, and he has this little armor plate going along, some curls, some cloth folds right there, so a bit of the elbow showing there, and then going into the arm, and then not a heavy chest, but just as I mentioned, he's just fit enough. There's these two white I guess they're armor plates, or they have some other purpose, not sure about it. And then his tunic itself goes something like that, stretches all the way here to the chest, goes like that, and then it's not exactly straight, but it's a little like cutting downward, goes up like that and right around the chest like that. So we will go and do the outer line like so. And then of course there is his famous, I guess it's famous, his logo, something like that right there as seen from this angle. I'll complete the tunic there. There's the adjoining belt kind of thing. Alright, and then so we have to have a little bit of like, you know, that cut corner there for the fabric, because he has, as I said, you know, it's like a captain's or a seafaring, a spacefaring Star Trek kind of dress. It has all these like folds, goes all the way here, and there's that plate again. It's not a plate, it's actually probably part of the fabric. Not exactly sure if it is the fabric or if it's like more stiff, but I believe I've seen like folds going right through it. So this also should stretch in here, part of it anyways, and maybe some of it here. So there's some white in those areas. He's mostly black or gray. That's the color scheme of his clothing. And there's the collar, and we'll put the face in right there somewhere, or for that matter his helmet, which is actually quite iconic now again. Although Starlord was, Peter Quill was always, in my estimate, a popular character in the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy series. I believe he even had his own series, and then he was also somewhat a part of the Nova Corps. Not a part of it, sorry, he was an assistant in adventures involving the Nova Corps, or as we know, the singular person who was part of the Corps, and that is Rich Rider. That's the fictional name of the character, or as he's known as Nova. And I'll put in some earpieces there. I'm not sure if he has ears or there's earpieces. I think there's earpieces going right around. After all, he has to protect his face when he's in the middle of the battle. So that is the idea behind his helmet, and of course you can play around with the design, and there's no specific, because artists have had some different takes on it. So I suppose that, you know, adding your own take, putting in some inks, will give it some more fun dimensions to play around with. I'm doing the same thing with the rifle here, so going with those little segments and trying to keep it consistent. And there's the cloth folds again, bit of it here, and here's Mr. Quill and his I guess he's in so running away or shooting at the target, so either way a dynamic pose. There's the fabric coming down there. Alright, so we got the fatigues going and we got that little action pose going. Could bring this up a little bit, and then of course the important thing is his the other recognizable thing aside from his face is his hair. And the hair, now really there is, when it's the comic version, all you have to do is just put in a handsome head of hair. It doesn't have to be combed, doesn't have to be unkempt, but something right in the middle. So if you have this, I'm pretty sure that it's going to work out just okay. And I'm just going in, throwing in some lines here and there just to fill it out. So that is the primary sketch of Starlord in that particular action pose.